Justin's nowhere to be found, so he's stuck with me tonight. We're reviewing Fight Night 153 Gustafsson versus Smith. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So, in the upset victory, Anthony Smith, who was ranked number 4, who recently lost to John Jones, beat Gustafsson, Alexander Gustafsson, who is a kind of perennial number 1 contender character. Also, his last fight was a loss to John Jones, so it made sense that they were matched up. And Anthony Smith pulled off the upset via 4th round rear naked choke.
Wow.
Gustafsson's one of those guys who he's earned 3 title shots so far. 2 against John Jones, 1 against Daniel Cormier. But outside of maybe John Jones versus Daniel Cormier, Alexander Gustafsson gave both of them their toughest fights. So Daniel Cormier has only lost to John Jones, right? So outside of his losses to John Jones, his closest fight by far is his fight against Alexander Gustafsson.
Wow.
And the closest fight of John Jones' career is his first fight against Alexander Gustafsson. A lot of people think it's the greatest title fight of all time. It is a super fun fight to watch. I've watched it probably 10 times at this point. I actually have a running list on my phone of how I score it each time I watch it.
Wow.
And I tend to lean towards John Jones, but occasionally I do think it's Gustafsson. But, so Gustafsson was the favorite coming into this fight, because Anthony Smith is a guy who came into the light heavyweight division, coming up from middleweight, got a few impressive wins, a few big knockouts, and earned a title shot. Lost to John Jones. He's coming back for his first fight after the loss. So the question is he for real, or is he just a guy who came up, landed a couple lucky shots, got up to the top, and had a good night against John Jones? It didn't look terrible. He lost the fight, but you saw that he was super game. He went the full 5 rounds with John Jones. John Jones couldn't finish him, and he gave John Jones some trouble. And so he's coming into this fight with Alexander Gustafsson. We're trying to see if he's the real deal, or was he just kind of on a streak? Then he gets a huge win over a guy who's been at the top of the division for a long, long time in Alexander Gustafsson. And so this is Anthony Smith's, while him earning the title shot and putting on a good fight against John Jones is a coming out party, this to me is almost more important, because you see he loses when he gets to the top, but he comes back and looks just as good, if not better, against the kind of consensus number 2 guy, the guy who's, even if Alexander Gustafsson lost a couple fights, he's always right there. Yeah. So Anthony Smith is a huge win for him. It's the biggest win of his career, definitely, and it keeps him right there at the top of the division. And I don't know who they're going to put him against next. There's a couple different options. They could put him against, a Dominic Reyes, a Johnny Walker. They could put him against... hell, they could put him against the guy that we're going to talk about next, Aleksandar Rakic, but he's still there at the top of the division. I think he's probably going to be ranked number 2 now. Yeah. I think they'll probably rank him above Thiago Santos, who is about to fight John Jones for the title. I think it'll be Smith number 2, Santos number 3, and hell, probably Gustafsson number 4, if not for the fact that Gustafsson also retired after the fight.
Huge.
Yeah, it's
beat him into retirement.
it's a good
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good career. He's talked about it before. He even said at one point that if he can't beat a fighter like Anthony Smith, he should retire, which is kind of insulting before the fight, right?
It's kind of like when it's backhanded insults.
Yeah, it's kind of like yeah, it's just saying that if I can't beat somebody at your level, why should I be around? But nonetheless, he retired after the fight. Everybody gave him props. John Jones tweeted him, and Daniel Cormier tweeted him. Everybody, and I'm sad to see him go. He's one of my favorite fighters in the division, one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. He's phenomenal to watch, and I think that that's a huge loss for the light heavyweight division. Yeah. Really, the only thing that can save the light heavyweight division at this point and make it more interesting is John Jones leaving. Because Daniel Cormier's already gone, Alexander Gustafsson's gone, and it's John Jones. Daniel Cormier and Alexander Gustafsson are really the only two people that anybody thought could threaten John Jones for the most part.
Yeah.
So with those two gone, it's
kind of like...
I don't know what to do. I mean, there's guys coming up like Johnny Walker and Dominic Reyes who are looking promising, but...
Yeah, I mean, somebody's going to come along and change the guard. I mean... Maybe. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. I haven't seen anybody in that division who looks like they can hold a candle to John Jones. I'm hoping he goes up to heavyweight because I think that's where we're going to see John Jones put on some of his
best.
Maybe not his best performances, but I think that's where we're going to see the most exciting time of his career.
Yeah.
Is him at heavyweight getting challenged because of the fact that he's so good and he's so long for the light heavyweight division. I think that going up against bigger guys is the true test for him, and where there's guys that can beat him in some aspect, where normally in the light heavyweight division he's so big, he's so long, he's so technically skilled that he beats everyone in every aspect. He's stronger, he's relatively quick. Heavyweight, I think bigger dudes, stronger, can out wrestle him, might give him some sort of a challenge and can make it interesting again. And then the light heavyweight division can move on with guys like Smith and Santos fighting for the title all the time. It'd be great.
Yeah. That's for business.
Yeah.
Yo, next up we got Jimi Manuwa versus Aleksandar Rakic. And if you didn't see the ending of that, holy shit. That knockout.
Yeah.
Sun went to sleep. Bam. Wow.
That
was awesome.
Yeah, it was nuts, dude. It was 47 seconds into the fight.
Hold up. Kick was so bad that Manawa retired 2 days later.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Well, I mean, that wasn't the only reason, but it's like, wow.
Manawa's been on the wrong end of some finishes lately, so I think it was kind of...
It was just like...
I think it was his 4th loss in the row. Wow. So, I think he was just done, but that crazy kick certainly did not help. And the unfortunate thing is that, like, we only saw... It was a 47 second fight.
Yeah.
47 second fight. And so... Since it was such short of a fight, we didn't get to see how he looked still, you know? Because, like, he could be in the best shape of his life or whatever, feel the best in his life and be phenomenal in camp, and then he comes out, he just gets caught with something. Like, it was an insane kick. It was a great timed kick, but it's not something you would expect Manawa to get caught with, considering he's a really good stand-up striker. He's a boxer, typically, so he kind of fights closer range, and his kicks aren't as great, so maybe his kicking range fighting isn't as great, but... You don't expect him to get caught with that, and it was... Yeah.
I mean, he just straight buckled.
Dude, I was watching it live. God. I was legitimately, like, worried.
Yeah.
He, like, when... Dude, the camera cuts to the other guy celebrating around the ring, you know, walking around, and, like, you're watching him celebrate, but then you can see in the background him still laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Like... a solid minute after that was over. And, like, normally people, like, get caught with a punch. They're up a few seconds later, but he's still down there. I was, like, watching this dude celebrate, doing, like, his celebration, like, shh, he's sleeping. I was like, oh.
Like, he was actually napping.
That's kind of bad. Like, when the dude's that injured.
Yeah, like, it wasn't, like, bounce back. It was, like, concerning, like, concussion protocol. Like, are you good?
Pretty bad. But... super impressive nonetheless.
Yeah,
then Rakic is boasting that he's a better striker than John Jones and all this crazy stuff, but impressive win over a veteran, but a veteran who's on a four fight losing streak, so he hasn't beat anybody anywhere near the top of the division. Rakic he's gonna get put through the ringer, I'm sure.
Yeah,
especially if he comes coming off such a big victory, so cocky. He starts talking some shit. He might get a
lower his guard a little bit.
Exactly. He might get a bigger name that he can bite off. You know, he might pull like an Alex Hernandez who fought Donald Cerrone a few months ago, who we'll mention in our preview video for UFC 238
coming up next.
But you know, those young guys, man, get on a big winning streak, like to talk some shit.
Yeah.
Get thrown to the wolves, and
you get humbled real quick.
to quote Rocket Power, they write a check their tush can't cash.
Nice. Wiggity. I was waiting.
Dude, so we got to quickly mention.
We have to.
the biggest upset of this past weekend.
Holy shit.
Anthony Smith, great, but...
Bruh.
Andy Ruiz finishes.
Oh my God.
Anthony Joshua in round 7.
Bro, like, them hits looked heavy as shit.
Dude.
Wow.
I love seeing a dude with a big old gut.
Yes.
A big fat dude go
It's
out there.
big boy
just
season.
quick as shit. Knocked out Anthony Joshua. Dude, Anthony Joshua, who looks like a freaking Adonis.
Looks like a freaking action figure.
Yeah. Dude, and Anthony Joshua was gassed, man. He was just done.
Yeah.
Andy Ruiz went out there with an incredible game plan.
No one expected him to work him like that.
Was fast.
Oh my God.
It was insane.
It was insane, and now he's your champ. Like,
dude,
that's
the
awesome.
first ever
Mexican
heavyweight boxing champion.
That's dope.
Not the
History.
first heavyweight.
Not
the first Mexican heavyweight champion. That honor belongs to one Mr. Cain Velasquez. But the first Mexican heavyweight boxing champion.
History.
And
one of the most exciting finishes.
Right when we're trying to put a wall between our two countries.
And he's just kicking ass.
A Mexican born in
that's
LA,
awesome.
Kicking ass.
Let's go.
Dude, the most insane upset.
Oh my God.
And a lot of people are pissed because it upsets the Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight. The American champ versus the UK champ. Everybody wanted to see that. And that fight is ruined now.
Yeah. Well,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Andy Ruiz, man.
He deserved it.
Good.
The man got it. Good shit, bro.
What a fight.
So that's our review of Gustafsson versus Smith. Yeah, make sure to stay tuned for our next videos. We preview some upcoming fights here. Also make sure to, if you're a baseball fan, Orioles just had their draft. So make sure to tune into our draft recap video. Me and Jordan do that. Yeah, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good night. God, I wish you were. Oh my God. Because it's 10 o'clock and I want to go home.
What have you done before 11?
You need to go home too.
I don't go home.
You need to go home.
We are home.
Fuck!
Show me the way.
Pat, Gerald, you haven't been home in 25 years.
What?